Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami says, O King Parikshit, one should neither knowingly nor unknowingly commit any sin. One should not be determined to commit sin. If somebody somehow committed the sin, knowingly or unknowingly or with full determination, has to experience the consequences of sin. Therefore, even by mistake, one should not endeavor to commit sin. Always be conscious and remain alert and not be negligible or careless about committing sin. Always be conscious and careful about not criticizing a sinner. A person who has committed sin, that person should not be criticized, because by criticizing, the sinner's sin come to the criticizer. Magnifying somebody's sin to others or telling this fellow is a sinner, he has done this and this and this and this sinful deeds, then such a speaker attains the sins committed by the sinner. That's why one should not criticize a sinner or magnify their sins. Whatever kind of thought one has, and whatever kind of thought one is absorbed in, that kind of act that person will commit. If somebody is absorbed in thoughts of sinning all the time, then he or she will end up doing some kind of sinful deed. If somebody is absorbed in religious act, they will only do religious ritual act. Those who are absorbed in spiritual life and absorbed in Guru and Kṛṣṇa's thoughts, they will only act spiritually and go back to Bhagavat, for sure. One should be very careful about thoughts and acts. Usually, all acts are performed by one due to their past activities, deeds, karma. Those who avoid not acting sinfully, even though it is pushing one to do sinful deeds due to past karma, they control themselves, they are called ideal persons. Sri Sukadeva Goswami says that the queens who poisoned the prince were thinking to poison him. They were absorbed in thoughts of killing the boy, so to get the attention of the king towards them. After the boy's death, when boy spoke after death, we have discussed previously, the queens realized about their mistakes, and by the help of Narada Muni, they performed atonement on the bank of Yamuna river, and thus became purified and got liberated. This statement was heard by 88,000 rishis headed by Saunaka Rishi, from Sri Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami was speaking that Sukadeva Goswami spoke like this to King Parikshit. So when these 88,000 rishis in Naimisharanya heard from Suta Goswami about these thousands and hundreds of thousands of queens all along together, unitedly poisoned the boy and killed him. Saunak Rishi was also very learned. Learned does not make one become guru. One has to be guru authorized by scriptures. So Suta Goswami is authorized to speak, and these guru act for all 88,000 sages. So Saunaka Rishi asked, how it is possible that millions of queens together, unknown to everyone, poison a child and the words remained secret and not come out. Nobody knew that they poisoned him. Saunaka Rishi was expert in the spiritual scriptures, so he knew there is a Nyaya Shastra statement, Charakana Mantra Veda. There is a Nyaya Shastra, book of logic. We have discussed these wings in Bhagavad Gita introduction. When there are three people involved in some act which have 6 ears, three people means 6 ears, Sadakana, Kana means ears, and Sada means 6. When 6 ears are involved, it means 3 people, then word will one day come out. Secret will not remain secret. It will open up. Somebody will talk. But these are millions. How come they kept that act of poisoning the child secret? Question. Moreover, the mother of the prince was also a queen. She was a queen and they were all queens. And how come a one queen whose son was dead did not know about the act, that they did it? Oh, Suta Goswami, please clear our doubt. Saunaka asked, who is heading the 88,000 sages? Who is the chief of 88,000 sages listening to Suta Goswami? Sri Suta Goswami spoke. Whatever had to happen, that happens. Whatever supposed to take place, all plans are already arranged to happen. Whatever items are required, that thing to happen, that items will automatically be arranged and that thing will happen. Oh sages, I give you an example about this. In ancient time, there was a big demon and he performed great austerities to please Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma became pleased with his austerities and he came to him. And the demon asked a boon from Lord Brahma, saying that he should not be dead by anyone at any place except in the abode of Lord Brahma, in Brahmaloka, the highest abode of this planet. Lord Brahma hesitated to give, but because he was bound by the austerities of this demon, he hesitatingly gave. Okay, you will die only in my place in Brahmaloka. Hearing this, the demon became very pleased and he did many atrocities, many bad deeds, criminal acts. Everybody was fed up with him. But nobody could kill him because he got boon. He cannot be killed anywhere else except the abode of Lord Brahma, where Brahma lives. And nobody can go to that abode with their body. This material body has to die, then only the soul can go. But he cannot be dead. So everybody was in great anxiety. That demon has to die. It is necessary he has to die because so much atrocities. Very many he did. Okay? The demon has to die in the abode of Lord Brahma. So, things were arranged. What was arranged? A swan, beautiful swan was in the waters. Demon saw and he jumped in the water and he caught the swan. He caught the swan and sat like you sit on a boat. He sat upon the swan and swan flew all the way to Brahmaloka. It was Lord Brahma's swan. Lord Brahma's carrier is a swan. Lord Brahma rides on the swan. This demon also knew because Lord Brahma came to him to give a boon upon sitting upon a swan. But he did not know that this particular swan is Lord Brahma's swan. So he just sat upon it thinking that he is as good as Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma rides on swan. So swan flew all the way to Brahmaloka where demon died. Oh sages, everything becomes prearranged for the act to happen. So these thousands and thousands and millions of these queens were arranged, prearranged, manipulated, remain absorbed to kill the boy. That's why unitedly they killed the boy. Now how this act of them remained secret, let me tell you. That this boy, prince, who was killed by them, he was also a prince in his past life. And these millions of queens, they were ants in their past life. They were shocked. Saunaka Rishi was shocked. They were ants that many. How come they became queens in this life? The evolution cycle must go one by one. How come they from ants become a human being? And especially queens of a king who was whole earth planet's king. So Sutta Goswami narrated saying that, O Saunaka and 88,000 rishis, I tell you that these ants were all along millions living in one hole. They were all together living in one hole. One day, Pujari, the priest of a temple, he forgot to transfer Mahaprasadam plate after making the offering. So it could be distributed to public. So plate was a lot of big plate prasadam and he forgot to transfer, so it was not distributed. So these ants found out that Mahaprasadam plate and lifted the Mahaprasadam rice grains and were taking to their hole. And this prince was sitting there and he saw millions of ants having rice grain in their mouth. So he envisioned a kind of misdeed, bad act. He envisioned in his mind, oh, these look, so many ants. They were small, little, tiny ants. And the water was boiling near him, so he took that pot of water, boiling water, and threw upon them at once. All ants were died at once. Because their mouth was having Mahaprasad rice, these ants became human beings. Not only that, they became queens. They were all female ants. The potency and power of Mahaprasadam is so great, you do not need to go through the cycle of evolution. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate. Those who are sinners, they will not believe that such potency is carried by Mahaprasadam. Govinda Mahaprasad. Rudanti patakaha sarve nishushanti muhurmuhu haha krutva palayanti jagannathanna bhakyanat. If you have one grain of rice offered to the Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa, all the sins walk out. You forget about being in a cycle of evolution. Not possible. So that's how they became queens. And these, due to their previous karma, being killed by this prince, that act took place. And because prince kept secret, did not tell anyone what he did, that's why the talk of poisoning the child did not come out, even though there were millions. Everything takes place due to past karma. Now, question arises, how come these queens performed atonement? Now, the prince was also learned in his past life. He knew scriptures. Oh, killed so many living entities, so he atoned. He also regretted. Those who regret for their misdeeds, they are great people. Regretting is important. After regretting, don't do the same thing again. That's why these queens went to Yamuna, because he had gone to Yamuna, performed his atonement, and these ladies, means queens, they performed their austerity and Yamuna and went back to Godhead because Mahaprasadam was in their mouth. Last life. Now Shuddha Goswami says to 88,000 rishis, listen, O sages, what Sukadeva Goswami says to King Parikshit. Listen. You know, the King Chitraketu performed chanting, Chitraketu. Chitraketu chanted mantras given by Narada Muni very seriously and sincerely. Because Narada Muni was śrotriyaṁ and brahma-niṣṭham guru. So the chanting of mantra brought him great benediction. Śrotriyaṁ brahma-niṣṭham guru, any mantra rewards to anyone that becomes immutable, has to give result to the chanter. Has to. There is no other way. Just like drinking a drop of nectar has to make you immortal. Similarly, śrotriyaṁ brahma-niṣṭham, that Guru, Śrotriya we have discussed in our Guru Nirnaya Deepika book. You have to take book and read. So, by the influence of chanting that Guru given mantra, Narada Muni given mantra, Chitraketu's body became celestial body. Same body became celestial. Thus he was selected to be the king of Vidyadharas. Vidyadharas are a subdivision, a class of demigods, subdivision of a demigods, a class of demigods. He became king there. And because he had a śrotriyaṁ brahma-niṣṭham Guru, perfect Guru, Narada Muni, that's why even though he became king of Vidyadharas, he never gave up chanting mantras. Śrotriya brahma-niṣṭha Guru, if you obtained somehow, you should never give up his given mantra and being his disciple till your last breath, till your death must remain. Because you will be benefited. After all, you will be benefited. So, king carried on. One day the Supreme Lord appeared in front of him as Sankarsana, having thousands of hoods, big snake form. Sankarsana is in that form. He had thousands of hoods. Upon that glittering crown was there. And upon that the whole universe was like sitting as a mustard seed. Small little thing. For him it felt like mustard seed, but Chitraketu saw a gigantic universe sitting on his head. See? Seeing the Supreme Lord, Sankarsana, face to face, the mind and heart of Chitraketu became pure, all sins subsided. Heart became filled with devotion to him. Tears came from his eyes got anointed with tears. His hairs stood on end, bodily hairs in ecstasy. In that situation, Chitraketu paid his obeisances to the Lord. Because his heart got filled with love for him, his throat got choked throat. And he could not recite verses of prayers. Because he was the disciple of a śrotriyaṁ brahma-niṣṭham Guru, in due course of minutes, he came to real status and started praying to the Lord and said, O Supreme Lord, you have enunciated Bhāgavat Dharma on this planet. You are the person who established Bhāgavat Dharma on earth. And Bhāgavat Dharma teaches pure devotional service to the devotee. Those who adopt, practice Bhāgavat Dharma, they become pure devotees and they see you face to face. You bless the devotees who perform Bhāgavat Dharma. Our society is also called Bhāgavat Dharma Samāj. We propagate pure devotional service. Samāj means institute or institution. Those who perform Bhāgavat Dharma, their liberation is sure, guaranteed. Lord Krishna himself says, Bhaktya aham ekaya grahyam. He says himself, only through Bhagavat Dharma I am able to be understood. I am understood by bhakti devotional service, pure devotional service. Bhagavat Dharma means pure devotional service. Chitraketu prayed to the Supreme Lord saying that, O Lord, those who adopt Bhagavat Dharma and practice, they don't need to go through any other spiritual process or religious process. They don't need to adopt anything. Because other processes they teach you, or religions they teach you, I, me, my, man is yours, is you, like that. I, me, my, man, all this kind of thoughts come in them. And they involve fruitive activities. It's called sakama karma in Sanskrit. But Bhagavat Dharma has nothing to do with fruitive activities. That is real Dharma. It is away from fruitive deeds. Fruitive activities means deeds you do, a result you reap from there. That is called fruitive activities. One who practices Bhagavat Dharma honestly, sincerely, a sound arises from their heart. Oh Kṛṣṇa, I am yours. Oh Kṛṣṇa, you are mine. Something like that. When you become Kṛṣṇa's or Kṛṣṇa becomes your, why there will not be a liberation for you? Those who are worldly religions, either they started by a human being or they just manipulated by somebody. They cannot reward you proper liberation. Because once they have started, they will end. But Bhagavat Dharma, O Lord, it is Sanatan Dharma. Means never began, it will never end. That's why it is the topmost and above all religions. Bhagavat Dharma. Thank you very much.